All righty. I tell you what, man. The problems I have sometimes with recording the screen and trying to get everything working right and all that are it's just amazing. It's amazing how you'll even watch tutorials and it'll be like, I don't get that. I don't. It should be very, very easy. After you're done with the recording, when you hit pause or stop, it ought to give you a prompt on how you want to download it. That's it. Nothing pops up at all, and you're sitting there going, what am I supposed to do? And then when you realize, well, I guess I'm going to click off. And then where's your recording? You didn't download it because there's no fucking prompt. Now, some people are very good with this because they're good at sitting on their ass all day and going typey type and moving the mouse and going, man, I'm glad I don't have a pair of balls. I'm a knuckle dragger, everybody. But anyway, I'm going to try this for the fourth or fifth time. I think this is the fifth time. 5 times, yes. Third time ain't the charm. Uh, what the hell goes, what's hair in my mouth? I wasn't putting anything in it. I'm just sitting here talking. I want to see something here. You got to be kidding me. Re-record, stop. Okay, that's stop, and that's pause. Now, what's this one? Nothing pops up for that one. Okay. All right. Well, I want you to listen to this. And if anybody out there is surprised by what she says, you're a naive dumbass, okay? So, here we go. I hope this all works.
I couldn't be part of that system anymore. I couldn't
Wait a minute.
pretend that party loyalty was more important than supporting
Wait a
victims of
minute.
sexual trafficking. I'm going to tell you about the phone conversation that ended my relationship with
I thought I had it all the way at the end. Sorry about that.
Donald Trump, destroyed my political career, and proved that some secrets in Washington are more dangerous than others.
I'm not a fan of hers.
This conversation happened in September 2025, after I promised Jeffrey Epstein's victims that I would help identify their abusers.
I'll be back.
And everyone in my congressional office heard every word of it. The call came the day after I held a press conference promising to work with Epstein survivors to reveal the names of people responsible for sexual abuse against women and girls. I had just finished a closed-door House oversight hearing where I listened to these women tell their stories. They were trembling. Their bodies were shaking as they described being raped at 14, at 16, by rich and powerful men who thought they could buy silence along with everything else. I told those women I would help them get justice. I told them their stories mattered more than protecting powerful people who had escaped accountability for too long. I told them that transparency and truth were more important than political comfort and connected relationships. That press conference triggered the phone call that ended everything. I was in my office when my staff told me the president was on the line. I put the call on speakerphone as I usually did for official conversations. What happened next was loud enough that everyone in my suite of offices could hear Donald Trump screaming at me about the Epstein files. He was extremely angry that I had signed the discharge petition to force release of the government files connected to Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking case. He was furious that I had promised to help identify people who had abused these women. And when I tried to explain why transparency mattered, he said something that I will never forget. My friends will get hurt. That's what the President of the United States told me when I asked him to support victims of sexual trafficking, not this will compromise ongoing investigations, not this will damage national security, not this will interfere with justice. He said his friends would get hurt. I was so shocked by that response that I asked him to clarify what he meant. I told him about the women I had just met, how they had been raped as children, how they had spent decades waiting for someone in power to care about their suffering, more than they cared about protecting their abusers. That's when he made it clear that he cared more about protecting his connections than supporting their victims. He attacked the women I was trying to help, saying they hadn't done anything to merit an invitation to the Oval Office. He said they didn't deserve the honor of meeting with the president. The women who were trafficked and abused as children didn't deserve the honor. But the people who trafficked and abused them deserved protection because they were his friends. That call lasted about 20 minutes. Everyone on my staff heard the President of the United States prioritize the comfort of Jeffrey Epstein's associates over the justice that Epstein's victims had been seeking for decades. They heard him explicitly state that protecting powerful men was more important than acknowledging the suffering of the women and girls those men had harmed. But what shocked me most wasn't just what he said, it was the tone in which he said it. He wasn't conflicted about this decision. He wasn't struggling with competing priorities. He was angry that I was creating problems for people he cared about by supporting people he didn't care about. The message was clear. Jeffrey Epstein's victims were expendable. Jeffrey Epstein's associates were not. After that call, I knew I could never trust Donald Trump's judgment about anything involving accountability for powerful people. I knew that when it came to choosing between justice and protecting connections, he would always choose connections. I knew that all the talk about draining the swamp was just talk when the swamp included his friends. But what really ended our relationship wasn't just that phone call. It was what happened afterward, when I realized that supporting sexual trafficking victims was somehow more controversial in Republican politics than protecting the people who had trafficked them. I started getting calls from other Republican members telling me to back off the Epstein files. I started getting pressure from party leadership to focus on other issues. I started getting lectured about the importance of party loyalty and political timing and strategic considerations. No one called to ask about the women I had met. No one seemed concerned about the fact that powerful people had sexually abused children and escaped accountability. No one wanted to discuss whether the American people deserved to know which government officials had been compromised by their connections to Jeffrey Epstein. The only concern was protecting the Republican Party from embarrassment and protecting connected people from exposure. That's when I understood that the Epstein files represented everything wrong with Washington. Rich, powerful elites doing horrible things and getting away with it while the women who suffered were treated like the problem for asking for justice. I couldn't be part of that system anymore. I couldn't pretend that party loyalty was more important than supporting victims of sexual trafficking. I couldn't stay quiet about what I had witnessed just to preserve.
All right. Okay. Now, um, I'm not surprised at all. And if you're surprised by any of that, I mean, she said she was surprised. Okay? That little cross around her fucking neck. Okay? That comfort zone. That's all it is. All your religion is a comfort zone. Your little prayers are a comfort zone. You're going to outsource your responsibility oh, to what? The top of your head, the door, the this light, the ceiling, the walls. Okay? If you can't admit that your little God, you gotta believe he's real, because there's no evidence other than, yes, I can look outside and I can see trees and all that. And I do believe that there is something that created. There has to be, things just don't pop into existence. Okay, I saw a video where a guy was trying to prove that you can create order out of chaos. And he had a box, okay? He had a tub, it was a plastic container, and he had nails, and they were all mixed up. And he just started shaking it. Okay, now get this. He don't believe there's a God, but he started shaking this thing until finally what was going to happen eventually, yes, when he did that, All the nails were in order. And he was trying to say that I think he was supporting evolution, just bang and everything. No, he he was essentially God creating order out of chaos. Oh my God. I mean, are you that naive? I do believe there's something, and there may be more. There may be, I mean, but I'm never going to say this is what it is or that's what it is. Okay. So, having said that, I don't like politicians. I'm not a fan of hers, but I have respect for her coming out like this because that is very dangerous. Okay. And that there is another thing. If you're a good person and you're not prepared to do bad things, or you can't wrap your mind around doing bad things because you got to do bad things to bad people, you do realize that um you're never going to get anything done if you're voting and praying. I hope it happens. I hope for the best while you're going off the cliff. Yeah. I hope I survive. Yeah. They're all scumbags. Okay. And not everybody in government is a pedo or anything like that. But there's a lot. I think the majority is. They're all bought and paid for. They're all blackmailed by something that they're doing. Okay. Even what JD Vance said that. He said the people in government, the people here in government, he said they're manipulated not just because they're a bunch of alcoholics. No shit, JD. But yeah, it's very damning. Uh, Now, I don't know if I said this. I think I did say this. I'm having problems with just downloading and trying to figure this shit out. Um, I don't know. They don't give you any prompts in order to download the video to your file so you can upload it to get it edited. And that really irritates me. I think when I stop it, they ought to have a prompt. Now, I'm using Filmora, and the first time I tried this, I couldn't find it. Okay. The only thing I found was Filmora when you open up your dashboard in order to import and edit videos. That was the only thing I found. I clicked on it and Filmora popped up again. I'm like, what the fuck? All right. Now I also want to talk about my workout video yesterday, or the shit show that was my workout video yesterday. One thing, my squats sucked. I didn't check it. I had all kinds of shit I was doing. I was trying to work on the safeties. I did 2 loads of wash. What else did I do? I had to do my coal fire. I was washing dishes. I was making my breakfast. So I had a lot of shit that I was doing, and I was trying to work out and get all that done. And then uh, when I edited it in CapCut, I was not drinking any beer. So no, I was drinking beer when I uploaded it to YouTube, but I did not drink any beer while I was editing it. The problem was it was getting close to 8 o'clock, and I had to go down to my mom's house, and I had to get her grocery list because I had to go get groceries. And I was fucking around, and then finally, when I had this much time, I decided I'm going to edit the video. Yeah, and then it turned out 38 minutes. It was over 38 minutes, and that seemed really odd to me. But by the time I got to that point, it went from this much down to that much, and I had to hit export. but I was kind of like 38 minutes. Holy shit. 3 sets of squat, 1 set out of 3 sets of deadlift, and then I went right to Viking press. And when I saw the comments about Groundhog Day and were you drinking beer while you were editing? I was kind of like, that's weird. And then I went to bed and I'm lying there, and the Groundhog Day comment just hit me, and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, did I edit that? Did I mix everything? And I'm thinking 38 minutes. Yeah, you fucked that up. And I thought, I wonder how bad. Well, when I got up this morning, I found out how bad it was. So I was not able to re-edit the video because my computer kept popping up pop-ups about I need to free up disk space and I need to create more room. So I got rid of all those 9 videos that were in the workout videos. So I had nothing to go back to. So what I decided to do was I deleted my video off of YouTube. I got rid of it out of my files, and that's just going in the scrap heap. That's where it belongs. Okay? Yeah. Damn, I tell you what, I'm glad they made pens. I mean, how else would you scratch your ear? You can't get in there with your big fat ass pinky, unless you grow your nail out that long. you know. But these, they fit perfectly, just boom, right in there. And you got room. So that's good. But anyway, I don't know if I said this. Tomorrow, I want to work on my squat depth. I did not have a wide enough stance. And normally, I have a wider stance and I can get down lower. So I'm going to do 1 week, I will do squats, light squats, and just get used to the depth, to feeling that depth instead of bending over like I did. And the following week, I'm going to do good mornings. So tomorrow, when I work out, it's going to be bench press, it's going to be squat, and it's going to be, well, light squat, and it's going to be, let's see, bent rows. So that's pretty much all I got for today. I'm going to hopefully this thing's going to work. I'm going to work at it the whole day. If I got to make 20 damn videos until I'm finally able to download something. But that's pretty much it right now, and uh I'll see you Monday.